The extraordinary level of savings and the historic level of tax cuts at the same time, and all these great policy prescriptions. And I talked to Elon through all that and explained to him what we're doing, and that this is just the beginning of a long process of making government more efficient and effective, of cutting wasteful spending, fraud, and abuse.
Talk about the triple B, the big, beautiful bill, and there is some infighting, and I would say I would frame all of this with some infighting in a party when it is happening publicly is good. That is transparent. When you have a bill that's trying to be passed and you have people who are in the same party and some are going, it's too much spending and there's going to be too much deficit, and some people are going, no, we have to do it for this reason or that reason. But when it's done publicly, then we have a sense of actually what's going on here. So I'm going to try to cover this with all angles here. So let's start with Elon Musk, who obviously, because of Doge and all of the cuts and getting rid of the fraud with USAID and all of this other stuff, he wants government spending cut. He does not want us to increase the deficit. That seems to be his number one priority. And he tweeted this out about the big, beautiful bill that Donald Trump is for. He wrote, "I'm sorry, but I just can't stand it anymore. This massive, outrageous, pork-filled congressional spending bill is a disgusting abomination. Shame on those of you who voted for it. You know you did wrong. You know it." Okay. That's not a guy mincing words right there, right? Like, that is as clear and as concise as you can be. He's saying this is bad, I don't like it, I know who did it, you know who did it, and do something about it, Americans. Call your senator. That was his next tweet. Call your senator, call your congressman. Bankrupting America is not okay. Kill the bill. Okay, so we've got some drama here. Absolutely, right? Trump brought him in to cut spending. Then a bill gets to his desk, passed by congressional Republicans. It hasn't been hit by the Senate yet. And there is some issue around, okay, you want tax cuts and you want to cut fraud and things like that. But if you're going to spend more than you're cutting, the deficit does go up. He doesn't want anything to do with that. But again, this is all happening publicly, which is good. And it's completely the reverse of everything the Democrats did. For example, like when they had a soft coup and they eliminated the sitting president of the United States, that was done behind closed doors. We're seeing things done. We're seeing the arguing happening in real time. We're seeing it happen on X. And here is Speaker Johnson, who is on the other side of this. So again, I think this is good because then you can make your opinion. So there you have Elon, too much spending, right? Too much spending. We're getting some cuts, but too much spending. Here's Speaker Johnson, who's on the other side of this, saying that Elon basically is a little confused about what's going on here.
Look, let me just address the Elon controversy and tell you that I consider Elon a friend. He's obviously brilliant. I just told you we credit him with all the big changes with Doge and everything else. It's curious to me what happened this week. And full disclosure, Elon and I had a great conversation, about a half-hour-long talk on Monday this week, Monday morning. And we talked about the big, beautiful bill because I think he was trying to make a joke a couple of days earlier. It can't be big and beautiful. And I started the conversation, oh, yes, it can, my friend. It's very beautiful. So we talked about all the record level of savings. My friends, no government in the history of mankind has ever cut $1.6 trillion in a piece of legislation. We're doing that here. I mean, the extraordinary level of savings and the historic level of tax cuts at the same time, and all these great policy prescriptions. And I talked to Elon through all that and explained to him what we're doing, and that this is just the beginning of a long process of making government more efficient and effective, of cutting wasteful spending, fraud, and abuse. And you can't do it all in one bill. It took Congress decades to get to this situation. The Biden administration, Biden-Harris, made such a disaster of every metric of public policy, it's going to take us more than one bill to fix it all. Elon and I left on a great note. We were texting one another, happy texts, Monday. And then yesterday, 24 hours later, he does a 180 and he comes out and opposes the bill. And it surprised me, frankly. And I don't take it personal. We don't take it personal. Policy differences are not personal. I think he's flat wrong. I think he's way off on this, and I've told him as much, and I've said it publicly and privately. I'm very consistent in that. But am I concerned about the effect of this on the midterms? I'm not. Let me tell you why. Because when the big, beautiful bill is done and signed into law, every single American is going to do better. Well, I tell you, I called Elon last night and he didn't answer, but I hope to talk to him today. I mean, it's not, it's very friendly, and we've laughed about our differences on policy before. I'm not upset about this, and I think he understands, and he's acknowledged to me before, that this is so serious that we can't fool around with it. I mean, the debt cliff is approaching very quickly, right? All the things that are in this bill are so important for the U.S. economy. It's going to be jet fuel for the U.S. economy. All boats are going to rise. And the sooner we do that, the better. And the risk of not getting it done is enormous, not just for the Republican Party, but for the country. We got to do this. We're going to have the largest tax increase in U.S. history at the end of the year if we fail, and all the other calamities that we've talked about. So we've got to get it done. And I think Elon understands the weight of that, and I hope he comes around. I'd love to talk to him this week, and hope he calls him back today. I talk to President Trump, all the time, multiple times a day. Obviously, we've talked about this. As you know, he's not delighted that Elon did a 180 on that.
All right, so look, I think I can't tell you which way this all, in reality, is the bill good or bad. I can't. I've read as much as I can about it. I've been paying attention. I obviously like Elon. It's interesting what Mike Johnson just said right there, right? You're going to get an over $1 trillion in savings and the tax cuts, and it's just the first step in all of this. He's a politician. Elon, at this point, well, he's not a politician, and he's outside of the government, and he's focused on one thing. So I don't know which is like purely right here. But I do know that seeing people that are part of MAGA argue this publicly is good. This is so completely different from the previous administration, which either lied or hid everything from us. So we never knew what was going on. And right now you're seeing it happen. It's playing out in real time. And I really do think that is positive one way or another. And maybe that is how you get to some negotiations. Cooking meat shouldn't mean sweating over a grill, guessing if it's done, or burning half while the other half is still raw. That's why I got the Chef IQ Sense, and I'm never going back. It's a wireless, smart cooking sensor that goes right into whatever you're making. Just pick your meat and how you like it in the app, rare, medium, well done. And Chef IQ Sense monitors everything and pings your phone when it's ready. No more hovering, no more guesswork. Just perfectly cooked meat every time. Flash sale happening right now. Get 15% off at chefiq.com with promo code Rubin. That's chefiq.com, promo code Rubin.